Good
Hi,
morning.
everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
Whatever time it is for you.
Yes.
Okay, welcome to the Near the Bone live show. I hope I don't encounter like any technical difficulties because technology is not my forte at all. But anyway, so last March our theme was women of the creepy kind in line with Women's History Month. So from an array of horror books written by women, Near the Bone by Christina Henry won the poll, and I'm so excited to talk about this book and hear everyone's thoughts. Unfortunately, however, Unique will not be able to join us because she is not feeling well. So you're gonna be stuck with us for the next hour.
And he's like the life of the party. It's like, no, I'm missing Pete.
Absolutely right. I already missed her.
And also, as a reminder, yes, this is part of the Haunted Corner Book Club. We read horror books here, so you can join us to read
Please join us.
more horror books.
Please join us.
I don't know if Cherry managed to link the Discord or any of that in the description, but we'll
I
figure
did.
it
I
out.
did.
Okay, then you can
She's
put
on top of that
that in
at least.
So let's start with a summary. Okay, so the setting is around winter time, and we follow a couple that lives in an isolated cabin up in the snowy mountains. Then this creature manifests, or somehow it's hard to explain. So please read it because it is really good. At first, they think it's a bear, but then it ends up being much worse. Not that bears are bad, but like you know,
But yeah,
but this one is more terrifying.
it's basically about this woman who finds a dead fox and she's
Mm.
like, who killed it? Because these are some weird paw prints near this dead fox body. And so we're figuring out what's going on there. And then she has a super suspicious husband that's like, what's going on
Super
with
suspicious.
him? What's happening?
Super suspicious. But like trigger warnings because there's like this book heavily deals with domestic abuse and some talks of religion. So before we start, just putting it out there in case you guys are uncomfortable about those topics. So yes, let's start with non-spoiler thoughts. I'm literally just copying Natalie's format for the last.
So ending and non-spoiler thoughts, you can go ahead with those.
I will pass the mic on to the co-hosts first because I don't want to talk. So which one
Oh
of
my
you wants
god.
to go first, or should we like maybe go around again? Like,
What
I can
is
go.
around?
okay, let's start with Mish. What are your thoughts? Non-spoiler
um
first.
oh god. It's been like I think was it a week or something since I actually finished it, a week or something. And it wasn't like what I expected it would go. It went a lot of ways, to put it very vaguely. But I did very much like enjoy that it was very for me at least, it was very high tension like throughout everything. There were some like chill moments, but then of course there's like literally a monster on the loose, so, and a very suspicious husband. So you're like, oh my god, what's going to happen next? Is she gonna die? Are they gonna die? God damn it, no. That was literally my thought process. So it was very what you call this, it was actually very good for me. Like, it was a very good reading experience for me. I was listening to the audiobook while doing something, and I literally could only focus on the book because it was so stressful for me. But yeah, it was really really good. So yeah, it was very good experience for me. Yeah.
Yes.
Before we move on to Natalie, Steph is here. Hi, Steph.
Thanks
Hello.
for joining us. I know for a fact she literally basically just finished reading.
I know. I saw her
Oh,
comments on Discord.
damn.
I was like, yes, yes. Hi, Steph.
So it's very fresh for
Yes,
her.
it is very, very fresh, unlike me.
Oh God, yes. And now we move on to Natalie.
So,
Do you still remember anything?
yes, I gave this 4 stars, but as I predicted, I have basically no recollection. I
Oh yeah.
enjoyed it. I thought it was like really gripping. I was also listening to the audiobook and I was like hooked. I could not stop listening to it. But then I was like, okay, I'm done with it. Will I be able to retain anything? Questionable. I have, you know, regained some memories through the
Oh, there you
Discord
go.
chat, but otherwise, no thought, head empty.
You
That is
literally
very
said that
relatable.
you will forget about it in like a few months. It has not been a few months.
That's why there's some memories. That's there's some.
Oh my god.
Oh, Steph just finished like literally 30 seconds ago.
I love that.
Oh,
Maybe
I love it.
maybe Steph could hop on and help us.
Yeah, thank. Please do help us, Steph. Should we
Oof.
like move on to like spoilers?
But you haven't
Cherry, you
shared
haven't said.
Oh,
yours.
like I
You really
said.
you don't want to
Oh,
talk.
I'm so sorry. Okay, so I actually did give the book 4 stars too. I feel like I will remember it a lot more than Natalie because like I really did enjoy it. I was so surprised because I read like one of Christina Henry's older books, Alice, and I really liked her writing style. So I was surprised to find that she was not writing anymore like fairy tale retellings. But yeah, I really surprisingly like this. Like, okay, and then and I don't even know what to say because like most of my thoughts are for spoilers. So
Oh yeah. That
I
makes
have a
sense.
lot of things, but yeah, basically I enjoyed it. That is the summary of my thoughts.
I'm so happy. I think we all
This is the
enjoyed it.
first, yeah, this is the
Yes,
first
I,
book.
Yeah.
I think we all enjoyed it, and then Unique and I didn't like the ending,
Oh
which
yeah.
that's a spoiler-free thought to say. We just didn't like the
Yeah,
ending.
yeah.
We can get
That
into
makes
the
sense.
specifics later, but the ending was really what took it from being 5 stars, and that I knew I would forget about it. Like even while I was actively reading, I was like, I'm gonna forget everything, but I'm having a good time now, and I care about the vibes now.
No,
I'm
We
like,
exactly.
live in the moment.
yes. I'm like, the future is the future. I'm living in the moment. So, and
But the,
especially because I've been having so many flops, like this year has been so bad for my reading that this
Mm,
was like a
got it.
high. I'm like, excellent. I'm invested. I'm committed. I want to finish. I'm like, oh, awesome, amazing, incredible.
I was
Oof.
surprised to find that it was a quick read because I just breezed through it. I was like, I want to know more. I want to know more. But like, did Mish like the ending? Did you like the ending?
I have very mixed feelings about it. Like,
Personally, I liked it. So
yeah, we'll talk about it once the spoilers come because, yeah, I think I'll form whether I liked it or not based on others' opinions.
she is very easily influenced. Steph,
Oof.
what about you? Did you like the ending? Tell us, because like we would like to know which one is the majority. It's like I thought because Natalie and Unique didn't like the ending, I was like, oh my god, should I not like the ending? I too
I
am
mean,
easily influenced.
you can feel however you feel. I was just like, and I can't say my comment until we get into spoilers because
Okay,
it's
let us
like,
get into the spoilers. Okay, should we
do
like
we
go
just
around again?
do we just
What?
start with the ending? Like, do we just
Oh,
start?
we have a lot of feelings about the ending.
Apparently.
Let's
We
just start
can, we can
here
chat about
because I was just like, listen, I wanted more death. I know a lot of people died, but I wanted them all to die. that
how is that even?
that is my truth.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
The
That's
ending was lackluster. Yes, Steph.
definitely.
Yes, I am with you. It was like we had all this tension, right? She finally freaking kills William. We can get more into that later, but she finally kills him. And then it's just like la di da di da di da. We made it to a safe place. And then we know nothing else. We just made it there. Okay, they'll help us. And I'm like, really? And then this man, didn't he lose an arm or a hand
A
or whatever?
hand.
A
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he
skeleton?
did.
And I'm like, that's it. That's it. I wanted the monster to go full feral. I'm like, commit, follow through, kill all of them. I'm like, no survivors.
Ooh, Steph said.
Ooh, that
Yeah,
would be like a good final girl moment.
I
That is
also
true.
wanted more feral energy. Like there was only like one chapter where Maddie really goes feral, and I think it was the part where um I don't know
Was it
their
like she
names.
screamed at like CP or something?
Yes,
Yes.
whatever one with the letters and the
The
other
letter
one and the other one that she just
Jen.
goes off on them. I was like, yes, yes. And then she didn't do that again. And I was like,
Wasn't she like the whole time when she gets angry, she gets like really confused about her feelings because she never gets angry. She doesn't have like the opportunity to get angry because like William beat the shit out of her. So yeah, like that's the
Mm.
thing. So she doesn't really know how to feel things, which I get. So when she got angry, I was like, okay, yes, but I also get why it didn't like
Mm.
happen a lot.
yeah, it would have been good. But that's just because Steph and I are biased. We love feral women. We're like, let's go. Let them, wreak havoc. But
And
she
the
could have
pile
Shit.
of wood
hidden.
is that.
She could have hidden in the
Is that
pile of
shit?
cards from the
Pile
monster
of
as
shit
a
from the
cool
monster.
scene. Oh no, and then Steph in the chat also was like, set the place on fire. Why didn't William set the place on fire to get them out? And I'm like,
I feel like they're gonna lose a lot if they set the place on fire. Like
That
William
is true.
is still very convinced that he was gonna get Maddie,
yeah,
so he's gonna end up taking her back to the house and all that. So I feel like William has a lot to lose if he set the entire place on fire. You know?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
And
and
isn't that
weren't
where
there
his
like
money's at anyway? Like, why would
yeah,
you set your money on fire? Like,
exactly
yeah,
though.
yeah, and weren't they like the only house in that freaking weird ass mountain
Yeah,
anyways?
they were the
yeah, I think
only
so.
place. It was
Yeah.
really isolated. Oh, should we talk about like how it all started?
Yes, now we can go back. Now we can start from the
Okay, let us go back to where it all began.
You can buy another house with his that is true.
Ooh, speaking of which, we're also
Very
gonna talk
valid.
about his
But the
booger
drug
sugar.
money is in the house though. Like
Exactly.
he's packing all the money there. So if he sets the house on fire, like he would have to already be in so he can take the money so he can still be rich and then set the house on fire.
I
That
don't
is a
think he
lot.
uses the
Otherwise
bank.
he kept it in.
Me, I
That is
don't
a
think he
lot
uses the bank.
No,
because banks
Very
don't exist.
suspicious.
yeah, like he has drug money, so obviously he's trying to keep that on the down low. So he will not have a bank. So the bank is that chest or whatever in the
Oh
room.
yeah.
Although I feel
Um,
like it could be possible that he has
It's
like
the
a bank account, right? Because like he goes to the city, so he has a lot of secrets.
yeah, I
Sleepy
still
though.
be
He has
looking at all his money on one place. I mean, for all we know, he also had a second stash, but we never see that, so we cannot
mm,
confirm. We have to assume that most of the money is there.
gotta at the author. Where's the
be
money?
honest though.
Where's the money?
I mean, he left money in his pocket, so
Oh
Oh, but
yeah, he
then
had
okay, before
those.
we take it to the beginning, Cherry, why did you like the ending?
Oh yeah, why do I keep forgetting to talk about like my own thoughts? I am more invested in other people's thoughts. I was like, I want to know all of your opinions. But yeah, I like the ending, not because it was like a happy ending. I usually like depressing endings because I don't know, hurt no comfort. That is like my thing. But tells Cherry. But yeah, I like the ending because I think it wrapped up nicely. Like, it was too quick a little bit. Like but I think it wrapped up pretty nicely that Maddie was able to like free herself from the clutches of the actual evil. And I also like that I told Mish that I didn't like that we didn't know about the creature,
Mm.
because they just saw it and it was like, what the fuck is this? But they didn't
Mm.
like see what exactly it is. And after a while, like when it sinked in, I was like, I kind of like that there's still an air of mystery, that they didn't find out what it actually is. And I kind of like that CP was able to drive with like only one hand. But yeah, like when they reached it, I liked the last line. I feel like that was what hit the most, like the last line when she introduced herself as Samantha. I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
ooh, yeah, she's gonna start living her new life. So I kind of like that. I feel like I was stuck on the very last line, and that is why I really, really like the ending. I was like, oh, impact on me only, apparently.
No,
Nobody else
hold
liked the ending.
on. I yeah, I don't know. I'm very like in the middle with it. Because most yeah, I did like Cherry said, I did like the air of mystery around the creature, and I think I get why they didn't like, you know, get out of the forest to be like, swipe, you're all gonna die, if you know what I mean. Because they were, you know, there were little ones, so they were like protecting their own and stuff like that. I think there was like one scene where I think they all went feral. The monsters already feral went even more feral, because I think they were actually like protecting their little ones. So I kind of get it why they were just like staring at them. And also, yeah, I did think I'm imagining it like and CP's like driving with one hand and be like
The
like
pain.
that, the pain. But yeah, and the last line was also very powerful, I think. So yeah.
I was
And but it
surprised that it was a parent. I was like, oh, we're having
yeah,
that kind of surprise. It's a mom. That
so
kind
it
of thing.
yeah, so it probably means that like they've been there a while, or they, like they said in the beginning, like migrated or whatever from another place. And then when they started having, like when their kids were there, they started, you know, being more cautious and being like hunting and stuff like that. So that's why their presence was known.
Yeah, but I thought it was a little weird that it only happened like during that time. Like if the
Mm,
creature actually lived there for like a long time,
mm,
and then again, it had a lot of organs in its cave, right? So it should have been
exactly.
there a while.
Yeah, I think they did build up that like they were struggling when they were going on hunts to get food.
Mm, mm,
Um, so I think it had been there for a while, so that's why it had the pile of hearts and whatever else it had
Yeah,
collected. Um, and then I think part of the explanation is that like it wasn't really going after people because there are no people there, but
mm,
it was the I think the challenge there is um that like how were there sightings more or less of it for
mm,
these what's the term for it, these monster hunters,
mm,
these
yeah.
enthusiasts.
cryptozoologist.
Is it
Them.
truly cryptozoologist? Because I was like cryptocurrency. Honestly, that was my first thought.
So I was just like, how can there be enough sightings of it to, lure these new groups of people there? I don't know if the
Mm.
logic is fully there, but also I read it a month ago, so like maybe my logic is not there.
No, it does make sense. It makes sense, definitely.
Yes,
Mothman
Mothman.
enthusiast.
That is exactly who they are.
Oh my god.
Speaking of which, like it was the tying from the tree thing that got me. Actually, that was like the biggest horror element because I was like, that's disgusting.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah,
it was very vivid.
It is
because
really graphic.
yeah, no, that was the most like graphic that it got, like tying up the corpses up there. But I think the other element of horror here is really just the relationship with Maddie and
And
William,
William, yeah.
and just the whole trauma that created for her.
Yeah.
And now we jump into the beginning. What is, speaking of
That
which, thank you.
transition.
Thank you for that, Natalie. Now we jump into the background. Oh, I'm sorry, we're
The
drinking.
background.
Now
Yes.
we jump into the background. What did you guys think of the backstory? Because I feel like it lacked more, in my opinion. So, what do you guys think of the backstory? Want to
You go
start?
first, Natalie.
So for me, I have conflicting feelings because for a while, even though I was very, very invested in figuring out the whole relationship between these two, it also didn't make any sense to me for a long time. I was like, but what are the logistics here though? Like,
Exactly.
what?
Oh, Heather.
Oh, someone told me it's Heather. Isn't she like Maddie's sister? Oh, they never found Heather.
They
Yeah.
didn't.
That was still the part where I'm left like, okay, so was she an imaginary friend? Because that's to me, in some ways, that's what it seems like. Because if there were no, you know, missing reports of Heather, and like the mom died, like the mom was murdered by William,
Mm.
right?
Yeah,
So she's eliminated, but they should have known if Heather was real. They should have known that the mom had two daughters because they probably would have been able to find documentation of that. So if they knew that Maddie was missing, where the fuck is Heather?
exactly. I was like, are we never bringing up Heather again? Like, she was brought up in the story so many times, but by the end, we just kind of forgot about Heather
Yeah,
altogether.
yeah, no. And when Heather first popped up, I was like, wait, is this like a childhood crush situation? Because I'm always looking to make things sapphic. That's
Yes.
that's where I'm at. So that's where I started. And then she was like, no, my sister. And I was like, screw.
God damn it. Okay. We're not going there, apparently.
I was like, fine, we're not doing that. But then it was like, okay, then is she imaginary or not? Like, is she an actual human? We don't know. I don't think we know.
Like in the news, like William had clippings
Mm.
of the articles were about Maddie and about the mom, but shouldn't it be mentioned in the news articles that the remaining daughter, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
there was
exactly.
nothing.
Yeah. So I'm like, she's imaginary. But then my conflict with that, I mean, it's not really a conflict. Like children have imaginary friends. Um, but it's like, what is the purpose?
Mm.
Like, what is the point of having Heather exist in the narrative?
I th- okay. I don't know if it's just my sudden thought right now, but I think it's possible that she was included because I think it was mentioned that there was a scene where Samantha, not Patty,
Samantha.
Samantha,
Oops, sorry.
and and their and the mom and Heather were in the mall, I think. And it kind of seemed like because her mom, they were like going through like a difficult situation. Even back then they didn't have enough money, and her, I forgot where her mom worked. So if anyone could enlighten me, I forgot.
I
So
think
it
she
could
was
have.
like a diner
Yeah, she was a
waitress.
waitress.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So yeah, it could have, the imaginary friend could have just like manifested because, she was lonely as a child and stuff like that. So
But
that's
she
my.
did say that they went out for ice cream. They like, you know,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
but Heather like the floating ice cream or something because she was like an imaginary friend.
I
yeah.
I
No,
don't
mean,
know.
you
no, no.
can picture your imaginary friend, I guess, eating ice cream too.
It doesn't have to float. That's a ghost story.
Oh, right.
But
But
yeah.
yeah, so what did you guys think about the fact that William is basically just, it is literally a topic of groom. Oh, if the voice in her head would have been Heather, that would have been cool. Yeah, actually,
I feel like that could have been interesting too,
Mm.
right? Like if we were just committing to Heather is actually an imaginary friend.
Mm.
So like that imaginary friend becoming kind of like a protective
Mm.
voice in the back of her
Yeah.
head would make sense. I mean, it also makes sense for her to compartmentalize and say, like, okay, Samantha is the rebellious one,
Mhm.
Mm.
and then there's me, Maddie, and I try my best to be compliant and stuff like that. But since we didn't really go anywhere with Heather, it would have been better to just merge Samantha with Heather.
Mm.
Okay, that does
Yeah.
make sense. Although that's gonna be like some weird dissociative identity disorder kind of subplot.
Mm.
And you know how people feel about when mental illness is suddenly like boom,
Yeah,
mentally
no.
ill.
No, but in this case, I think it makes more sense because it's not the bad guy that has it. It's her
Mm,
literally,
Mm.
I experienced a traumatic experience and
Right.
experienced further trauma because she was kidnapped as a child. And
Mm.
yeah.
usually that develops usually when you're a child and experience repeated trauma. So it would make sense for
Mm.
her to have that experience. But
Yeah.
again, that it's its own can of worms.
That
We're
is
gonna go
true.
like a deep rabbit hole of if we don't stop now, it's gonna go downhill. Yeah. Speaking of which, like
They should have gone
speaking of
downhill. They're
self
kidding.
it already went downhill by then. But like since we're talking about self preservation memories, what do you guys think of the fact that she was groomed? Yeah, the sigh
Jesus
of
Christ.
disappointment. What do you guys think, Natalie? And then
That
we go
was
with Dish.
that was so much. Like that was I wow. In some twisted way, like that was kind of part of my favorite bit, like
Oh.
uncovering and working through all of that. But obviously, it's like upsetting and disturbing everything that she went through. Um, and to the point of how much she basically compartmentalized her memories so much that she reached the point that she was like, "Oh no, I basically chose to marry William, and this is fine,
Mm.
and this is normal." And I'm like, "It's not though.
Child.
It's not."
Child, it is not.
What about you, Mish? What did you think of that plot point?
The struggle of being an empath. But yeah, it was like a lot. But I didn't, I don't know, maybe I was just numb from all the other tension. So, but yeah, it was, I think it was good that it shone like a light upon how they're like, I don't wouldn't even call it a relationship. How, you know, everything just like happened, but I was just in shock. I was also trying to find Heather when there was like the scene where he like went through the window and was like, "Where the fuck is Heather?" At that point, because like they only mentioned a mom. There was like no like indication if there was like there was two beds or like another room where Heather was at and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, maybe he's just, at first, because I think they mentioned it twice. The first one was like very vague. It was just like her trying to recollect the memory of like someone walking in like through the window. And then the other one was the one where like they really described how, the whole thing happened. At first, I was like, oh, so William was a good guy. He was just, the very chill, like uncle type of person. But then, oh boy, when the second part came, I was like, this one of the things where I'm like, this is not how I expected this to go, but it does make like sense. So I was like, why did I even think any other way when it was this bad? Like the whole present day things in the book. I was like, fuck. But yeah, I cannot. It was a trip and a half.
To be honest, like Natalie, I really enjoyed that part too. Like I don't know, are we fucked up? Like are we just genuinely fucked up that we enjoyed that? But I really like reading the backstory, like how William was like knocking on her window, and it was kind of creepy, but like I really like that. Although I wish they elaborated more on why William chose her. Like it was kind of random. Like, okay, I'm dating your mom, and then suddenly he sees you, and you're like, oh, you're gonna be my next wife, and it's like, okay, are we not gonna elaborate on why you chose Maddie in the first place? I don't know. That's just me. I wish they elaborated more on that, because like there's also talks about religion, like Maddie being like, the Bible says you have to be the obedient wife, blah blah blah. But they never really elaborated more on that part. So
I think it's because he did that conditioning. Like he was the one who basically made it so that she could only read the Bible.
Mm.
And so probably he reinforced as well with his own beliefs and interpretation of the Bible
Mm.
what her role was supposed to be as a
Mm.
woman and then as his wife.
Mm.
Um, I had another thought. And
but do you
Okay.
think she was yes? But did you think she was genuinely like he was genuinely like a religious person, or do you think he just like forced the religion on her to so she would be like very sheltered?
I mean, I that's also part of the thing that I go back and forth on because in some ways I feel like he was very cartoon-ish,
Um.
exaggerated form of a misogynist, like sexist man. But in
Mm.
other ways I was like, but this happens though.
It
Stuff like
does.
this happens, and then you hear them talk about why they did it, and they can explain it similar to William. So
Mm.
I'm like, I was having that conflict of like, how much of it is also him trying to rationalize it for himself?
Mm.
Because I don't think he's necessarily like a psychopath that doesn't feel anything. And,
Mm.
I don't really think that's the type of character he was written as. So I'm like, then maybe that's twofold for him. Like it's one way for him to rationalize for himself, why is this okay for me to do?
Mm.
And then of course as well as a tool to get her to comply and not fight him on
Mm.
this.
What about you, Mish? What do you think of the whole religion thing?
Yeah, I think you mentioned that it seemed very cultish, so it sort of got me thinking, is he from a cult? Probably.
Same.
So yeah, it could have been that way, or he could have just been, because there are people who, like Natalie said, this is something that could that does happen. Like they're just literally in this sort of box they've created for themselves and then rationalized how they act, and it's the only right way, because even Maddie herself, Samantha, my voice is like Samantha. But yeah,
Exactly.
even she started, because if someone is like very like convincing, or they're like 100%, very, this is how it is, you sort of like doubt yourself in that sense and be like, what? Or maybe I'm just easily influenced, god damn it. But yeah, that is also a thing. But yeah, I'm just very, I think the most plausible point, like, is he's from a fucking cult. That is that is
I
literally,
literally thought he was from a cult, to be honest.
yeah. It makes sense, with how like intense they are and stuff like that. Intense is very mildly putting it very mildly. But yeah, what about you, Cherry?
Like I said, I really thought it was a cult thing, and I was like, "Oh my god, are we talking about a cult? I'm so excited!" And then there was no cult, and I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever." I was so disappointed, but yeah, I really enjoyed the backstories, the flashbacks, and all that. Is probably the flashbacks are my favorite part of the book, to be honest. I don't know. I feel like the human condition, the human condition, is like it's like a lot scarier than the actual monster creature in the mountains. I was like, William is like the real monster. Like Maddie already talked about that. She was like, there are two monsters out there, the creature and William, and I was like, yeah, that is true. But like William is much scarier because like
Mm.
you know, I don't know. I feel like it. I know the unknown is terrifying, but like being someone's like punching bag for like years, you kind of be like scared of some. You know, there's like it makes more sense to be scared of William. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's just me. But speaking of which, now we're gonna transition again. Unless you guys have anything else to say about the whole thing.
Wait, what would we be transitioning into?
We're
Exactly.
transitioning to the creature aspect of the
Okay, yeah,
Ah,
because that was what I was gonna mention comment on
okay.
anyway.
go,
Okay,
go,
Okay.
we're
go.
transitioning to the creature now. Let's talk about the
So
creature.
so the creature, for me, I was like, I need a little bit more time of like, is it real? Is it not real? Because I personally like, if you're gonna establish that we don't know if it's real or not, then I'm like, push it out. I'm like, let's push the reveal until much, much later. But I didn't feel like that was what happened here. But I was still like, okay, the monster's still cool. You know, it's collecting hearts and other things in
Organs.
this little cave. It's stringing up dead bodies in the trees. So I'm like, okay,
The
okay.
Christmas decorations.
It's still doing its thing. It's fine. um, but yeah, I wanted a little bit more of the mystery there.
Hmm.
But they didn't reveal the actual thing. So like isn't that what added to the air of mystery by the end? They
Wait,
didn't really
wait,
reveal
wait,
it.
what
Was
do you
like
mean? What?
they saw a shadow of the creature, but they didn't really know what the creature was up until the very end. So isn't
I
that
mean,
like
that is true. Like they never really saw it like full on until the end. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm still giving this 4 stars, and I still really
valid?
enjoyed it.
Valid, yeah.
But I could definitely pick it apart further. And I feel like a reread might make me go like, I don't know. But what else did I think about the monster? Someone else can take it because maybe I can build up on someone else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you can we can come back to you. Okay, Mitch, what do you think about the whole creature thing?
I think they were cool. Very great school. Yeah, I think they were cool. But yeah, I think while I was like searching actually for like other people's opinions. Oh, Steph said I
Ooh.
wanted. Oh yeah.
I
Mhm.
wanted William to be the monster, that he wasn't hunting animals the whole time or of his mind games. Ooh. But how is he gonna like become the large thing with the claws and stuff?
No,
Yeah.
so like for a while, I thought that that was where we were going.
Mm.
That he was actually the monster. But obviously, the logic falls apart because again, the
He was.
animals started disappearing
Yeah.
more recently and all of that stuff. But for a little while, I was like, is William the monster?
Mm.
Is he
Yeah.
like transforming into this
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. My thought is
Oh
that.
yeah.
But
Shapeshifter.
yeah, I just I mean,
I feel like
I definitely liked that it was 100% a monster because I
yeah.
feel like if it had turned out that like it wasn't a monster, I would have been like, then why are we here? I'm like,
Mm.
okay, we're here for the drama with Maddie and William. Okay, that's fine. But I'm like, why introduce the monster subplot at all if we're not
Mm.
actually gonna have a monster? So that was the only thing that I was like, okay, good. We do have a monster. It
Mm,
is
yeah.
real.
Although psychological horror is also a good thing. Like
Yeah, 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 it is.
But
Oh,
shapeshifter, yes.
yeah, that could have been a thing. They could have been a shapeshifter.
I actually thought that like maybe it was Maddie, like another side of Maddie. I was like, but that's like too redundant. So yeah, that's like too
Mm.
difficult to pull off. But yeah, I kind
I
of
think I think the other thing as well, if William had been the monster, I was like, okay, maybe that's how he's keeping people away. Like, not necessarily killing them,
Oh.
because if you kill a bunch of people, then you will have an investigation.
Mm,
But like scaring people away to
mm,
keep them even further from their property. But then again, the property was already relatively isolated,
mm.
but I don't
And
know.
there were signs like keep out kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, there
Yeah.
were. Yeah. I think what what I was
What were
gonna
you
say
gonna
is
say?
that wh- while I was like searching for like, after the book you gotta Google shit. I'm like, what is the
Ending
monster?
explained.
Someone tell me. So yeah, they were thought it was either like a shapeshifter or like a Wendigo, and I was like, a Wendigo. I forgot, but I think there was this game about where they had a Wendigo, and then I was like, no, I don't think that's right. So maybe I was leaning more towards like a shapeshifter, like if they because they did mention that it could be like very like it what you call this it could mask its like appearance and stuff like that. Like the what you call this not the aura necessarily because Maddie was very sensitive to it. It'd be like, oh, it's here, it's and stuff like that. But there were also times when she was like, oh, it's not here. So it could have been like shape shifting into something that you couldn't necessarily like detect and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it always had its eyes on them, only the eyes, or like they were on the trees and stuff like that, but they didn't really feel like there was like something in the trees until it was looking at them and stuff like that. So that could have been the thing in
Yeah,
the
for me, that was also another thing where I was like, how is it both really, really quiet, but also kind of traveling through the trees?
mm.
I'm like, hmm, how does that work?
Although
Right?
it did say that you hear it
Mm.
if it wants you to hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. And another like what you call this another like sort of like indication that it was in the vicinity was like everything was quiet,
Quiet.
right?
Yeah.
And I think part of that like it contributes to the whole like the cave thing. I think the animals literally know that it's there. So they're like, oops, gotta be quiet. They can't, see us or hear us. We're gonna be part of this whole art piece that they have in the cave and stuff like that. So the forest like knows it's there. So yeah.
Speaking
Speaking
of
of the cave, one
Oh.
of my favorite things, this is kind of actually a transition, but I'm going with it. One of my favorite things about this book is how fucking stupid the other characters are. Like, all the cryptozoologists
I
or
knew
the
it was
Mothman
coming up.
enthusiasts have zero brain cells. Like, there is nothing up here. Nothing is happening up here with those side characters. Because literally, when I don't remember which one of them it was, suggested going close to the caves to like stay safe from William, I'm like, where is the logic? I'm like, where are the thoughts? I'm like, are you insane? I'm like, you do recollect that you already went and you saw piles of organs and
Mm.
maybe bones. I can't remember anymore if there were bones, but organs at the very least. You saw piles of organs, neatly stacked and organized, and you want to go there to stay safe. What's going on up here? Nothing.
Maybe
There's
it's the organization of it all. They're like, oh, we Marie Kondoed this place, so this is totally safe.
like you but I loved it. I loved it because I literally felt like I was watching a horror movie, like a shitty horror movie where you're like, "Why are you doing this? Why are you going there?" I was living the moment. I was in it. I was like, "They're so stupid, but I love it."
You were literally embodying Maddie because Maddie was like the question mark personified. She was like,
Yes.
"Why are we going there? Did you see what was inside that cave?" But they
They're
were
like,
like,
no.
"No, but like it's gonna be safe from like the." They also mentioned being safe from the creature. N- like they were outside, and they were like, maybe we should go to the cave to be safe from both William and the creature.
And I'm
You're
like, that's its
literally,
home.
oh,
That is where it lives.
Hmm.
oh my god.
Hello,
Welcome.
our missing piece.
Are
My
you okay?
internet is terrible today.
You are a blessing. Thank you for being.
Welcome and thank you.
Unique is like, what is happening?
Are you okay? Okay, let us hear Unique's thoughts
From start to finish.
What
We're
is
from
finished.
start to finish.
happening?
Do you wanna? Would you like to share your thoughts about Near the Bone? Yes, the squad is complete.
Yes.
What is happening? Hold on.
That was also me while reading the book.
I'm just gonna. I feel like. Oh, this is just wonderful. Love my crappy internet today. It's like I can't hear you guys
Oh,
accurately, but I can't see you accurately. And
Oh.
I want to know if I can do it on my
Interesting.
phone.
Interesting.
okay, but like
Yeah.
while we're waiting for Unique to fix her technical difficulties, let us talk about the cave once again. Oh,
Yes.
she's
Okay. So
Okay.
Cherry and Mish, our thoughts on the cryptozoologist with zero brain cells.
the Mothman enthusiast.
Yes, the Mothman enthusiast.
I think was it CP? Yeah, I think it was. I think there was this scene where he actually gets called out and was like, for someone who like literally dedicates their time and effort to search for these cryptids, you really don't believe that there's a monster in this fucking mountain when all the signs are there. I'm like, you're making sense. Yes, exactly.
No, I was like, so we just do this to hang out with our buddies. Is that it's like I'll go along with them. Like, sure, to hang out, let's go chase some monsters, but I don't actually believe in them.
My God.
I, for
There.
one, I mean, you don't really read about cryptozoologists. I was like, oh, this is fun. There are actual cryptozoologists in this book. But okay, she's gone again. We will wait for her until the end of our time. But
Exactly.
yeah, I really like the fact that they were cryptozoologists. I was like, okay, we're studying cryptids. But I kind of wish that they found out what the creature was because I wanted to know more about the organs. Like, why did
Mm.
they stack it in a very organized manner? I was like, what is this about? Like, it was like so cool. That idea was so cool. Like, this creature thinks does not think like an animal. So I wanted like more of that, you know.
Mm.
So yeah, my internet hates me today.
Aw.
It is okay. Please tell us your thoughts in the chat.
Yes.
And then bam. Like a whole.
Please tell us your thoughts.
I can already see Unique's face.
Because I really wanted to hear Unique's thoughts about the story too. So
Me
you know.
too. Uh, yeah, I if I were like going to like rationalize the whole, like making the display of the what you call
Organs.
this, or of the organs, it could be like a trophy of some sort, because and they wanted to make it look pretty for their kids. So that's where my logic is,
You
but
think
I
it was
don't
an
think.
interior design decision?
Yes, it was an interior design moment. If I was gonna go that way, I was gonna be like, yeah, it's their interior design. It's their fucking cave. It's where they live. Leave them alone. But yeah, it does not make any sense for me to think that. So I might as well be,
I mean, there's no better reason. So decor is the
we're
best.
going
It
to
was
take it.
decoration.
Just like I can. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I get that.
I think I'll give it a
Yeah.
4 because like I wanted more.
No, yeah, I wanted more. Yeah, I wouldn't give it a 4.5. I wanted more. I think what we got was good. Like once it got very gory and disturbing, I think what we got was good, but we could have had more.
That is
Like
true.
Like them hanging from their intestines from the trees weren't enough, you know?
no, no, that's
We
not
wanted more of that.
I am judging you.
you're talking to the one who wanted them all dead. So I was like, okay,
That's true.
we could have had
My,
more gore factor if they were all dead.
yeah.
Then
My
who are we gonna
tolerance for
follow
gore,
until the end?
the intestines,
Ooh,
probably.
Blew me.
in like a good way or a bad way? Because I know
Yeah.
Unique didn't really like the end, but like I feel like I'm the Mish thought it was okay, but I thought it was actually good.
At the very least, I wanted the guy to die. I was like, okay, I'm cool with having our final girl. You know, she survives the monster and all of
Why
that.
did they leave? Why did they live?
Why did they live? Kill them.
But why? I mean, they were such nice people, and then we're
No,
just gonna end up killing them.
I understand wanting to keep Maddie alive because she's gone through all this shit, and she kind of deserves to have the opportunity to live a normal life. But since I was already invested in the horror movie scenario, I was like, then let's follow through and kill everyone. I'm like, the monster wins. Forget all the humans. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, the monster is a protective mama bear. Go all the
True.
way. Destroy all of them. Keep that whole mountain to yourself.
Yeah. If I were like going to add my thoughts to why CP was also, alive, I think it's mostly because even though like Maddie like sort of like is slowly like regaining herself, I don't think she knows enough about society to actually survive properly, even with like, was it $1,000?
$2,000.
$2,000. I think it would be very difficult for her to like start a life. So like CP's purpose, even without his like hand, is to basically be a tool to like help Maddie like go back into society, and then he can die. He can go back to the mountain and die. so,
What?
so
Yeah, but like without CP, Maddie wouldn't be able to leave the mountains because
yes,
Yeah,
no one would be able to drive. They were even
yeah.
lucky
she
they had
does
the
not
car.
know.
Here we go. I did catch on to Sila's real purpose for turning murder to kidnapper to group. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true.
Probably until he had his like sons or whatever.
Yeah, but like
Stupid.
I said, like why did he choose Maddie? Like that wasn't explained. He could have chosen Heather, and that's why we thought Heather was like an imaginary friend.
Hmm.
Because like they didn't really, you know.
I mean, I think part of the thing here, though, is that this isn't about William. Like, though, I think the whole point of the novel is like, we're not here to really address William's problems. It's more
Mm-mm.
about how William's problems impact Matt.
Maddie. Yeah.
So it's like, I think it would have been weird to have a moment where we kind of get more of an understanding about William's reasons for doing this. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you could have incorporated it naturally into the
Mm.
narrative, especially since we are following Maddie. It's like,
Mm.
how would you figure that out?
I was
That
kind
is
of
true.
thinking in the flashbacks because that was where she explained that William was her mom's boyfriend and
Mm.
that he was nice and like this almost dad uncle type, like Mish said.
Uncle.
But then, yeah, like you said, he was like this cool uncle type, and then suddenly we see him knocking in the window, and it was like, okay, why is this happening? Like, I
Mm.
kind of just wanted more backstory on that part, but yeah, I get where you guys are coming from.
So
Yeah.
maybe like more essentially like inappropriate interactions between him and Maddie as a child,
Mm.
where he
Kind
Yeah.
of.
doesn't understand what's going on in the interaction, but us as the reader, we can understand that he's already making moves and is interested, but she can't understand it because she's a child.
That
Mm.
Would
makes
that have
sense.
been more satisfying? I guess is my question. If we had that.
Yeah, because I feel like it just happened, you know. Oh, unique.
Unique comment. I
First
love
of
it.
all, first of all, could have just took a photo, threw it on him,
And
That
then
is
have
true.
fallen a knife.
and
If
Steph agrees.
if we were like very far back in the years, it could have just like thrown the, what you call this? The pot where you like pee on and be like, go
The the one in the outhouse.
yes, go away. No,
Oh,
it's
gross. Why do you have to be so gross?
I'm
We
sorry.
say that after talking about intestines on trees, but that's even worse.
But throwing pee at someone, that's where we draw the line. That's where we draw the line. No pee.
I
I
hate
just wanted to say thank you, Unique, thank you. I
And
did not
yes,
comb
Cherry,
my
your
hair.
hair looks amazing. I love
Thank
it.
you. I literally did not comb my hair. I was like, oh, it's gonna
That
be
is the
all over
trick.
the place. But yeah, I feel like not combing your hair is the trick.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
was like gonna add to the whole
lineups.
lineups.
Yeah, it's absolutely drawn. You draw it, I pee.
We are not disgusting people.
Okay. I think oh my god, where are my thoughts? I think what I was like gonna add to what Natalie said about like Williams, I guess like cool like rationalizing what happened, and also what you call this? Why he did those things and all of that. I think it also like, and then like adding, let's say like like a part of him is like mentally ill or whatever, that would have been like taken the out like the whole, what you call this, I think it's not horror aspect, but like the whole what the fuck aspect of it, basically. Like I think him not having this whole like narrative of like what happened here, why did he do that, why did he choose Maddie, also adds to this whole he is a monster basically
Mm,
aspect of it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it leaves all of us like, what? But why? So yeah, that's just my you know thought on that.
No,
I feel
I
like
agree
for
with
my part, I
Mish.
was just curious.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, what were you saying, Natalie? I'm
No, that
sorry.
I agree with Mish. That I think that is part of what added to the story. That you're kind of like, why? What the fuck is wrong with this man?
Mhm.
Like you're just repeatedly like, and especially as she slowly starts revealing more and more the kind of interactions she's had with him,
Mm,
you're building that sense of like, what the fuck is wrong with this marriage? you know,
mm,
what did you need put in?
exactly.
Exactly.
Yes, that was the only thing. That was the only thing
Exactly.
that I was like, why didn't we pick William first?
He deserved the worst death. And yet
He
the
does.
nice guys get to hang from the trees and he
Is just
plummets.
pushed off a cliff.
Yeah, that was so
Yeah,
easy.
and I think I remember the part where like I think it was CP and Maddie talking like what did I say, like they were taking out the weakest people first
Yeah.
because it's easier. So that's probably why he was last. I
Yeah, but
think.
if you think about it, wasn't he injured? Like, didn't the creature
Yeah,
get to him at one point?
Mm.
Yes, at some point he was all fucked up basically because by the point where she throws him off the cliff, he's all fucked up
Yeah.
Mm,
because that was at the point where he's trying to get into the house, but then the monster shows up. So they have a confrontation, and
mm,
that's part of why he's all messed up. But
mm.
somehow he makes it through that because he had to make it through that. He couldn't die.
I swear to God, crazy people just do not die.
And
Yeah.
so,
It's probably why I'm still alive. I'm kidding.
Same though. I swear he didn't suffer enough. Exactly, he didn't suffer enough. And like every one of these people who tried to help Maddie died a brutal death. And he was like, okay, let's just push him off a cliff. And I was like, okay. He should
It
have
would have
suffered.
been satisfying. I think
He should
someone
have suffered.
commented in Discord. Yeah, I forgot what they said. Yeah, about William's death. Hmm.
William was hurt though. Yeah, but he didn't die immediately. Like he was mangled and all that. Like his skin was flaying apparently, but
yeah,
Mm.
he was alive.
yeah. No, I was like at the very least have Maddie beat the shit out of him before she pushes him off the cliff. I'm like, okay, I understand wanting to save the satisfaction of Maddie being the one to take him out, but like add more.
Mm.
Add more. Like I understand that part of it as well is like it's hard for her to do this to him
Mm.
because of all the conditioning that she experienced. But as
Mm.
a reader, I'm like, beat the shit out of him and then push him off.
Exactly.
Yes.
Grab the rifle, beat him with the end of it.
Yes, yes, exactly. Cherry understands. Cherry knows.
I'm so fucking pissed that he got the easy way out. Like, what the fuck? Also, the audacity of him talking about children. She lost multiple. Oh, yeah.
This was one of the things that pissed me off so much. Like, out of all the things that he did, when he was like getting mad at her for
Mm.
not being able to carry the children to term, I was like, I will kill you. Right?
Yes.
Right?
And it makes sense for her not to be able to do so because he literally beats the shit out of her. Like he's starving her and all of that.
Yes,
So
exactly.
how
Yeah.
will
She's
she able,
malnourished.
you know?
She cannot carry a kid to full term because of
Yeah.
those factors. Like,
Because,
honestly, I feel like she got a miscarriage because she was abused. Like, the stress,
mm.
the lack of food, and all that. So, like, at least
Just
lose
give
the
her a
life.
Twinkie, please. Oh shit.
Oh God, Mish, are you okay?
I'm sorry. I'm okay. I just need to charge. Hold on.
Lose an eye. That is so fucking true. Well, he got flayed skin by the end, but like that was not enough for me.
Yeah, no.
I want him to hurt, like
Plus,
hurt
we didn't
really
see it
badly.
happen. That was the other thing. That
Mm,
because Maddie and CP, whatever his name is,
CP.
were in the house, we didn't actually see it happen because that was a confrontation going on outside with the monster. So it's like we needed more.
But we don't. But we never really saw what the monster does to them because they just see that they were hanging from trees, and it was like okay, we
Mm.
never really saw how the monster does it. You
Mm,
know?
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So that's why we needed Maddie to hit him with the gun at
To
least.
get it.
Oh.
I know Natalie wanted everyone to die, but personally, I feel bad for the guys who tried to save Maddie. So I was like, they didn't deserve this. I mean,
Mm.
good because it's a horror and I like that shit, but they did not deserve that.
The only reason they deserved it is for being so fucking stupid. That's it.
Point.
For being so fucking stupid. And for Maddie like going off and being like, if you go over there, that monster's gonna say that you are next on my
Mm.
hit list and that I will destroy you. And what do? They go over there and they put a freaking target on their own backs. So I'm like, you know what? Maddie did the work. And she had to fight herself so hard to be able to express to you
Mm.
that it was a dangerous situation because she was also like struggling to even verbalize it. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
she could not talk.
she
Mm.
fought so hard to express to y'all the dangers. And you are so bullheaded that you're like, no, I want my monster. So I'm going. And I'm like, then die.
And they did.
Like, I'm like,
Satisfying.
You know what? He had stacks of Twinkies
The fucking
20 feet away from.
Twinkies. Throw the Twinkies at the monster, please. You have a whole stack of them.
Like literally, Unique and I are still pissed about the cliff thing. Like he did not deserve to die that easily. I wasn't feeling that part at all. Okay, and then yeah, the shed of food. Pissed. Like when did he get to eat those things? Like Maddie was always at the house. Does he just eat that shit in the shed? Like
I
there's
think
meat.
so.
How is
I
he gonna
think
Yeah.
cook the
I
meat?
think it said that he had like a specific thing where he put the wrappers and stuff to throw them out. I think.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
they
there was
did.
like actual butcher meat there. And yet, at the beginning, Maddie was skinning the rabbit because that was what they were gonna have for dinner. When like 20 feet away, there was like a shed full of actual meat that you don't have to skin. Pissed. Moral of the story:
Yeah.
monsters ain't worth it.
It
Exactly.
do not be worth it. It do not be
Not
worth
worth
it.
it. Not worth it.
Maddie better than me. Unique, no.
That was the other thing though. Like I understand why Maddie needed to stick with them because she is weak and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I was also kind of like, sis, leave them. Leave them because
Yeah.
because they're not thinking right. I'm like, you're not thinking right because of your trauma. They're not thinking right because they're fanatics. And they're
Exactly.
just like, I need to see the thing. And I'm like,
Yeah, but
why
I
do
feel
you
like
want to die?
Jen was the most logical out of all of them,
Oh god, I
and
miss
I was
Jen.
pissed that she was also. And I was kind of
It
hoping
was
some
hot.
sapphic was
That's
gonna
all
happen.
the thing.
She was hot, to be honest,
I
and
was
I was
like,
like,
why you gotta die?
I hope some gay thing happens between them, and it didn't, and she died. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I
The
guess we
sister
don't
thing
always
came up
get what
again.
we want. Yeah, I was like, yeah,
She's close to me like a sister, and I'm like, no, ruined.
the sapphic implications gone. Maddie had enough strength to go back twice. Yeah, that's true though.
Yeah, that's-
Yeah, but they needed equipment, so I kind of get that. But like, it was Jen and CP who were like, "We need to go back." Maddie did not want to go back.
Mm,
Yeah,
Did I?
that was the thing, right? That when the other one was missing, they wanted to go back to get him. And I'm like, how are you gonna fight this monster?
Exactly.
yep.
Like, what do you have to fight it? Like, we have to. He would do it for us. And I'm like, bare hands against the monster.
You have literally no weapons,
No.
I'm like, how does this end up with not both of you? No,
hanging from a tree.
hanging from a tree. Questions.
Personally,
Logic, none.
like, I mean, Griffin and CP died, but like, I kind of wish Jen didn't because she was pretty logical.
Yeah, that I'm stuck on it.
Oh yeah,
And I don't
so is
remember this.
Natalie.
I don't remember this. I'm like, they ran up the mountain.
Was it like
They did though, right?
the
Or
stream
they
through the
wanted to.
stream?
Yeah, they followed like the stream. Yeah, they did. I think they did run up the mountain and back to like the cabin.
I guess that makes sense. If like the cabin is up, then they had to return because they were like,
Mhm.
okay, we don't have weapons, we don't have anything, so let's go restock. But it's like I didn't really internalize it in my brain what that meant.
I feel like
But that's
they kept going around in circles.
yeah. For me, it felt more like they were going in circles, basically. So But then again, I'm terrible at imagining things. Like even like fantasy books that have maps, I don't even look at them and
I don't either. It's like, okay,
I'm
we're
like,
going
I
where we're
can
going.
picture it well, but I'm not gonna look at the map either.
Oh.
Oh.
Ah. Oh, okay. That's what Seth also said. They backtracked to the cabin. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I got really confused about that part. That's why I kind of figured they were just going around in circles.
Yeah. I was just like, okay, they don't know what they're doing. Cool. Circles.
Okay. Any more final thoughts? Any more final thoughts? That does not make any sense. Any more thoughts about the book? Steph, Unique, Natalie, Mish?
I'm trying to think. But
The sapphic implications.
We're not over the fact that it could have been gay.
it should have been, honestly. I was like, make it gay. Why
The gays
why
running for
all the
your
sister stuff? No. No. Make it gay.
life. That's what I mean. Oh my
That is true. Yeah, but they like wanted to see the shark, you know? Because they're
god.
marine biologists.
But see, this is where I go into the whole thing of like I know there's people who like to actually, go into the ocean to see the fucking sharks. I'm like,
Yeah.
"No. Why? Why do you want to do that?" I'm like, "Why do you tempt fate that way?" I'd rather
Don't fake that way. Honestly.
Oh yes, the booger sugar money.
Yes.
Forgot about that.
That Cherry and I were like, "What the hell is booger
Booger
sugar?"
sugar.
I love it though. I've been laughing ever since I read that.
And they lived in them cabin off the grid. Yeah, what was William planning to do with all that money? To be honest, like, why are
I'm
you a
guessing
cocaine dealer?
just to keep maintaining his life of like he can eat all his Twinkies and she can fucking
I
starve.
literally could not understand.
Like, what is he gonna do with all that money? Like, it's yeah. Aside from the fact that he bought food, like, what else? Like, why do you need to be a cocaine dealer?
Okay. I think maybe he's also like paying the people in the village because he did say like if you go down there they will just return you to me. So
I
Ooh,
think
maybe
that was
he's
just
been.
mind games. I think that was
Oh,
it
that's
was just
also
gaslighting. You
possible.
think?
That's
yeah,
also possible. But I
yeah.
wouldn't be
We
surprised if it did pay them.
at first I did think that he might be paying them, but then I was like, I think it's just gaslighting. I said you
I feel like it is gaslighting, to be honest.
yeah, and he did have a car though, because that's what they ended up escaping in. So he did have a
A car,
vehicle of some
Mm.
kind.
like an RV, like to go around the state, you know? Because like you cannot raise a family in the fucking cabin where we have to skin rabbits for food.
Yeah. It's like and I'm like, "Oh, were you planning to feed your children better?"
That's why he has those Twinkies.
That's gonna be their nourishment.
Yes. Okay.
Wow.
It's like a moment of silence.
I'm going to tell him. Okay. Let us all that sink in. I mean, it's time to relocate eventually, or what? I don't think he was though.
I
Like
don't
I feel
think so.
like they were gonna stay there until they die. And anyway, he was close to like dying. He was pretty fucking old.
Finally.
Wasn't
But
he
yeah, I
like
don't think he had any plans to relocate. I think his whole concept was like, okay, we're living here forever now. But like there was
forever?
only one bedroom, right? Like wasn't that part of the thing? Like the cabin only had their bedroom, so I'm like, where the fuck
Yeah.
are your children gonna sleep?
Was there only one bedroom? I kind of assumed there was like two bedrooms, but like,
Because I think this because I mean there could have only been one bed, but I think this because when they bring Jen, they put her in the bedroom on the bed, and then
oh,
Jen and Maddie sleep there, but then CP sleeps on the couch. or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
in the living room, whatever. So there's not another
Oh yeah, oh
bed.
yeah.
So that doesn't mean another room doesn't exist. But it
There's
was
so
but then
many
again, I was like,
unanswered.
where are the children gonna go?
Yeah, that makes sense. So the kids are supposed to sleep in the cabin. Basically, that's the crib.
Apparently. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't think I have anything else to
What
say.
about you, Mitch?
Yeah, me neither. I'm just
Letting
Twinkies.
it sink. The Twinkies. Honestly, we don't have
That is,
Twinkies.
we do not. That's why I'm very curious.
I don't think they're that great, honestly.
Okay, thank God.
I'm like,
I'm not missing out on anything.
for me, there's certain things that if they taste like pure sugar, I'm like, and what is the purpose? And for
Could
me,
Oh,
have
I
just
love.
chugged the sugar.
Gave it a solid 4. What did Steph rate it?
Yeah.
right,
What
I
about
don't
you?
think I know. I mean, it might be too early. She might still be like, I'm fresh.
Processing the narrative.
Yeah.
She finished 30 seconds before the live show.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes
So
sense.
she's had 1 hour and 15 minutes of us talking to maybe figure it out.
So did
But
they all give it 4 stars? Like, I think Mish gave it 5, didn't she?
I'm sorry. I'm very generous.
Don't
It's one of
apologize
my
for
it's
that.
one of my many bad traits. I'm kidding. No, I
It's
think
not a
I
bad thing.
did. Hold on, let me double check.
It's not a
Um,
bad thing. I mean, if you enjoyed it, that's like incredible, right?
yeah, and
oh,
for me, the 4 was honestly also me being generous. It was me being like, you know what? It served the vibes. I was committed. I was invested. So you know what? Slapping a 4 on this bad boy.
Yeah, same thoughts as Natalie. Like that's what I felt. That's why I gave it a 4.
yeah,
Although Steph gave it a 3.5.
Yeah,
So
so that's how I'm kind of feeling right now after the discussion, but I'm probably still just gonna keep it at a 4 because I need the win. I need the
it's
win.
a good book.
I'm keeping
it
it.
is. I think yeah,
Um,
I gave it a 5 stars. And my comment was that was a ride. I'm never going to a snow-covered mountain again. Thanks. So that's
Again,
it.
have you ever been to a snow covered mountain?
I don't remember. See, I'm being gaslighted to think I've never been to a mountain.
Unique cannot get over the 5.
Wait, I think she also judged me like last month, so this is
It's
not a new feeling for me.
it's not bad to rate it higher. Like it's a good thing you enjoyed the book. So you know.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And I definitely would recommend this book. I'm like
Yeah.
anyone
Mm,
who's in a reading slump and can handle the subject matter, I'm like pick it up. I'm like it
yeah.
will take you out of your slump because you'll just be right in it wanting
True
to
though,
figure
because
out what's going
I
on.
was feeling slumpy. Like I could not read because I was just doing a lot of work. And then when I started a book, I just could not stop. I was really invested in it. So yeah, but
Yeah.
it's a 4 because like there was some elements missing, like I said. But I get why Mish would give it a 5, and I get why you and Steph would like consider a 3.5.
Like,
Why would you laugh like that?
I feel validated. Thank you.
Everyone's rating system is different, and whatever
Oh,
works
yeah.
for you
Like
is for
honestly, if you
you.
enjoy
There's
it,
something
like
for you, not for anybody else.
exactly. Like if you enjoy one element and still gave it a 5, I'll be like, good for you. You got a good read, right?
Yeah.
So so that. Oh, any more thoughts? No more. No more. Steph, unique. Should
I
we
think
wait?
Unique
I'm
said
with you,
only
Steph.
that.
I have it a
I'm with you,
3.5.
Steph. I gave it a 3.5 originally.
Mm.
I feel like it is a 3.5. I just rounded it up to 4. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I I used to do a lot of rounding up before, so for this one, I was comfortable doing that. I was like, you know what? Let's go back to my roots.
Go back to my. Oof.
I kind of wanted more of the monster element, to be honest.
Yeah, I get that.
And Steph gave, what is that?
The,
I don't understand. praise. Okay.
Okay. If we don't have any more, unless Unique wants to like say something.
Oh, the last thing we need to mention is what we're reading next month.
Oh yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Natalie. Literally failing at this hosting thing. Go ahead, Natalie.
Okay. So
Just
in
passing the baton.
in May, we're going to be reading volume 1 of Devil's Line. All I know is that it has to do with vampires. It was the pick I put up for the poll, and it was because of Steph, actually, because Steph
Ooh.
has been wanting me to read Devil's Line for, I guess, like almost a year now.
Oh
Have
my
I
god.
done it? No, but it's happening now. It's happening now. So all I know is vampires, and I don't know if in the first volume or not it gets kind of smutty, but it is part of the series. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And then I don't know who's gonna be hosting the live for that one.
I think
We'll
I
figure it
will I will nominate Unique because it was her suggestion, so it kind of makes sense. And also because I want to be last because I do not know how to figure this out. So
We'll
I
see
need all
if
the, observance. I
or
will
then we're
observe.
gonna end up on Natalie's channel again.
yes, it's either gonna be unique or it's gonna be me
Absolutely.
again.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely. Unique, come on. You've hosted
The
so many
audacity.
lives on your channel.
Let's
Like
go.
what is the challenge? What is the conflict?
The
You can
audacity.
do it.
Come on, both of you
I
need to
can
like
see your
step up. Come on.
face.
And I swear to God, if we end up on Natalie's channel again,
Oh
everyone
my
gets
god.
the turn.
Yes,
Yes.
everyone should
I
get
had
their
a very
turn.
good reason for
Okay.
nominating you. So,
But anyway, we'll figure out those logistics eventually. So
yes.
at some point you'll know what channel to
Yes. Hopefully not very late. We will be on top of things.
We will be on top of things. And also
so we
in
hope.
April, we are reading Camp Slaughter for anyone who wants to join us.
Yes, yes. April is Camp Slaughter and then Devil's Line. So excited.
So
So
exciting! I hope these are good books. 'Cause, like
yes,
I
I want both of them
Let's
to be good.
continue.
Like
Let's
I'm
continue
like,
this momentum.
let's go.
we got a good book here. I hope it goes on. Okay. Any more final thoughts?
No, I think we
We
can end
miss
this
you,
now.
Unique.
Okay. We are going to end. Did I just end the broadcast?
Yes, that's what you do.
Okay, we are going to end the live show here. Thank you so much to those who joined us, and I'm so sad that Unique's internet was fucking up today because it would have been fun to have her in
Yes.
this weird window of faces. So
Yes,
yes, and
exactly.
thank you so much, Steph, for like joining us and sharing us your thoughts. And I guess we're ending the live show here. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and we hope to see you when, whenever
In the
we decide,
When we
beginning of May
schedule
to
it.
talk about Camp Slaughter.
which is so exciting. But yes, I'm ending the live show here. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
Bye.